Alright folks, I don't know what happened with my last recording. You're going to notice that there's a bit of a discrepancy between my health and when I started last time. That's because my emulator decided to screw up, but I am about ready to go into Area 3. And you're going to notice that it's more foresty, or rainforesty, or jungly, or whatever you want to call it. Stuff here starts dealing more damage. Those things I'm going to run from, don't even want to deal with them. And I could go left to the corridors right now. As a matter of fact, I can't remember if they're linked or not. They are linked. So I could jump right into 13, or I could even pass to 3, and it's a dead end, but we don't know how to open the corridor yet, so we're not going to go. Instead, we're going to dive right into Corridor 13. As I turn into a spaceship with a face. And finally, a little bit of a change of scene. And we have meteorites falling in the rainforest. I don't get how this works either. But as you can see here, stuff gets way more aggressive and deals way more damage. And this is about the point where a lot of people really get... Oh, let's see if I can kill one of these. I can. This is actually worth some score farming. And here there be dragons, as you can see. Goodness. Actually, we're going to use the power ball. Those things are a nightmare. If there's a lot of stuff on screen, they won't trigger properly, but otherwise it's just a great big mass of 20 or so quickly homing projectiles that can't easily be destroyed. That dragon's not an issue. That one's not an issue. Dragons are actually remarkably weak for the fact that they're dragons. You'd expect them to have more health, but they don't. That is the trick to dealing with those flowers. If you can destroy the bulb before it blows up, then you're going to spare yourself the onslaught. And then we're going to get into the first of the new style of bosses. This guy sets out a gigantic array of like 20 or so homing missiles and then ports off. This is actually pretty tricky because you're going to be tanking a lot of hits, but the thing is that he also offers you a ton of power-ups. If you're really good at it, and you know your placement, you can actually destroy all of the missiles with just one well-placed lightsaber. Which I think I just did. Because the edges of him, you take damage, but if you're like right directly in the middle, just right, you don't. And that's that. Once again, know your weapons, and everything else is a breeze. So we're going to watch some stuff blow up, I'm going to get a power up, and then we have to go look up, or rather find out how to open corridor number 3. This right here is a defense shield, and it's one of the most amazing things in the game, because this roughly decreases the amount of damage I'm going to take by about 20% or so. This is amazing, because as you saw, some stuff just deals way too much damage to be fair. So now we start going through the maze to see... Oh, it's a boss. this guy is not fun. And as you can see, he can hit you through the walls. This is one that I think I end up, like, running away from more often than not. Because he's just faster than you are. Yeah. I might be in trouble, folks. Yep. Here's the password. Hope you guys were paying attention. And I'm back up to full. So, when you see one of those, either you run or you're in for quite the fight. I'm actually going to go ahead and try to fight it, just because I want whatever power-up it has. Typically, the harder a boss is, the better the power-up it's trying to guard. Some people state that it's possible to kill the thing just by kind of tanking a bunch of hits. I don't think that's really the case unless you're really, really lucky. Like, this isn't going to go well for me at all. Yeah, that's... no. And I, oddly enough, made him despawn. He is easier to dodge when you're headed down, for the sole purpose that he bounces up naturally. I'm actually trying to be a tough guy and beat this before I go through all of this, when I really shouldn't. I'm gonna go ahead and try the tank a bunch of hits with the lightsaber technique. Because I do have the level 2 lightsaber, and the level 2 lightsaber is freakishly powerful. I'm still not going to use save states, because really I've played through this game enough times that I don't need to. We're going to stay in the wall. Come on, buddy, let's go. Yep. And we get a very precious defense power-up. Which, yeah, that's awesome. I like it. And just behind him was another happy red alien. So, for going this way, we've got ourselves more defense, and we've doubled our chip count. The first 3 power-ups were all 50, and then all of a sudden 200. You're going to notice that I reference the map a lot. There is no shame in that. It is good to know where you need to go. But now I can fire a bunch of weapons without falling below my 200 mark. And these things deal practically no damage to me now. So, yeah. And I think that there's a dead end down here, which will tell me where to go. Another weapon speed power-up that I really don't need. Wait. Wait forever. The seal for number 3 will be removed. What are you doing here? Do not wait here. So, the key to unlocking corridor number 3 is get in the room and sit still. It is probably one of the few ones that you could actually accidentally discover on your own. And we're going to make sure we're ready for the boss. Most of these ground bosses can be eliminated really, really quickly with the lightsaber, so we're just going to have that equipped from the get-go. This guy we actually have to move for, but not very far. This is the level 2 version. Instead of setting out 1 spider, he sets out 3. If you don't know what you're doing, this is actually kind of tricky, but he's gone, and we are given the last weapon as a result, and you'll notice that it has its own gauge. This is the enemy eraser. This is the most versatile item in the game. When you flash one of these babies, everything on screen dies. Everything. Including, in some cases, the sparks that happen when you would fire when an item box is going to spawn. If you spam them, like 4 or 5 of them, some of the explosions on screen will spawn power-up boxes. During late game, this is a great way to refill your health mid-fight. And all of a sudden, we're back here. So we can actually go to Corridor 3 and clear that place out. Now that we have more defense, and we're not quite so fragile, it'll be a bit easier of a time. Now, for those of you who have known me for a really long time, back when I was on here as Kendrin instead of Crimson Sadrin, you'll remember that this isn't the first time I've tried to play this game for YouTube. I actually tried doing it once without picking up any optional items, and this level became a complete and utter nightmare. So, wait forever. And they do mean forever. Any day now. There we go. And once again, I turn into a spaceship with a face. Why do I have the tailwind equipped? We're going to instead change that out for the Powerball. And if memory serves me right, this Rainforest motif is actually really short-lived. Though the Mushroom Forest part, this is actually really cool, because you see some really tricky enemies in here. And there is a lot of stuff on screen to dodge. I still don't understand why there's little meteorite things in the Rainforest, or the Mushroom Forest, or wherever I am right now. The thing about these stages around this point, you get some really heavy parts, and then you get some really light parts. Later on in the game, it's just straight heavy from start to finish. You're wondering how you're gonna breathe, let alone get through it. Nope. Let's see, another heavy part like this might be a good time to show off this power. It's not the fastest right now, it's not very powerful, but when it comes into contact with enemy shots, it actually destroys them, which is wonderful, but it really eats through your chips really quickly. And we are going to swap to the laser. Hello, Blue Optimon. Blue Optimon is much harder than the green one because not only does he have better slime trails, but he can on occasion just fire one out without warning. I have 2 defense power-ups, so that means I'm taking roughly 50%. Is it 50? It's more like 40 or so % less damage. But as you can see, it's not taking him long to just eat through me, and I need to play way more carefully than I am. How did that not kill me? I didn't know I had like a tiny speck of life left. Whatever, I'm not arguing. let's just... There we go! Whew! That was tense. And I get the wave key. Get used to these scenes, because you see a lot of them in this game. While it's not a permanent power-up, at this point it's one of the most welcome sights you could see. As I get all my health back. So, look at that. A whole new part of the map just opened up. And inside, 2 more corridors waiting to be cleaned out. So, stay tuned, and when we come back, I'm going to explore a totally different section of the planet.